Good afternoon and welcome to Football Park, our Anzac Day clash between league leaders, the Eagles, and second place Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide have only lost one game, that was to the Tigers last week. The Eagles, of course, are unbeaten. But firstly, we'll introduce our 12th millionth visitor to Football Park. Here's Stephen Trigg.
Excuse me. I'm Lee Wicker, General Manager of the Football League. We've got a very special prize for you. You are the 12th millionth patron to enter Football Park since its 20th year history. And to commemorate that, we have a special prize for a trip for two to Japan with 1 week's accommodation. I'd like to congratulate you on behalf of the league and hope you have a most enjoyable occasion.
Congratulations. What are your names?
Leon and Rita Worlsby.
Leon, pleased to meet you. And is this the first trip you'll have had overseas?
It's not the first trip, but I'll be graciously accepted.
And
I'm still a bit nonplussed.
Well, good on you. And you'll take the two of you over?
I hope so.
Rita, what about you? First time overseas?
No, I've been before, but this will be very, very good.
And are you Port supporters or Eagle supporters?
Neither. Just came to see what we thought would be a decent game of footy. It's turned out better than I thought.
Congratulations and enjoy your journey.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
And what a fantastic prize that is for the 12th millionth visitor to Football Park. Sorry, it wasn't me. I wouldn't mind that trip overseas. We've got some great pictures for you of this game, Anzac Day game here between Port and the Eagles at Football Park. We pick up play 4 minutes into the first quarter. Laney now, one of the best fullbacks in the comp, but he had a bagful kicked on him by Smith against the Tigers last week. He'll be trying to remedy that. Out of defence go the Magpies, up towards centre wing. Smith there, that's Darren Smith. Hull, young Troy Hull there, works hard, he's caught. Goes to ground with Nicol, the new centre-half back for the Eagles. And the umpire will come in and bounce. And the pace is hot in this game, and so it should be. One plays two. Eagles played one more game than Port. Quick kick forward, appeared to be Geneva, high towards half forward, but Nicol getting back in defence does it pretty well. Changes the play, the run is from defence, and it is beautifully put if it sits. Swars on a lead, pays, the kick is good. The Eagles look magnificent when they bring the ball forward. Taylor's got the back sit. Delaney's in front, he's put it down. Coming in to give him a hand is Barch. He'll go close to the boundary line, overrun by both. Totham, short, Barch. Opportunity, quick kick and offline. Oh, not offline, a goal. And the Eagles, they get first blood with Mark Devine kicking his first.
1-1 to 2 points. It was a decent entry, that's for sure. Now, Taylor did everything right except for take it. Support from Barch was good, but when he let it get behind him, in fact, give some credit there to the player in Taylor who dragged it back. The player who kicked the goal in the end was young Rowan Thorne. He looks a whole lot like Devine. Looks to have lined up at half forward. Banged through the first one, and a good start from the Eagles. Back in the centre square, 1-1 to 2 points. Nearly 6 minutes in to this, the first term. The Eagles have the breeze. Now another exit from centre square. Watch for Taylor. Does well to control the ball, keeps a play on it. Delaney's out of the action now. Taylor wheels it around towards the head of the square. Watch down there for Kluzek. Mead will need a decent bounce. Doesn't quite come to him. Runs it across the line and over. Oh, what a quick entry that was from the Eagles.
Yes, they're getting it. Well, both sides have actually had some out of centres very quick, but and both rely because of their setup in their forward line to get it in one out for their forwards. And if that happens, it should be a very high-scoring game. Kluzak's kick is high, going the wrong way, almost taking it was McKay. And he can't. 14 and 11 last week, McKay. A good player for Port Adelaide. They had a bad day out against the Tigers, but I can't see that happening 2 weeks in a row. The Eagles kicking with the breezes here at Football Park at the moment. Quick one on that occasion from Ango. Didn't go very far. This is Filippo. Left boot in, wild kick, and misses to the right.
Some outstanding matchups right around the ground today between these two top sides. Andrew Pays and Rowan Smith on one wing. Nicol is working back at centre half back and picking up very dangerous Darren Smith. Negri sets himself, so too Barch. Quite a few kilograms between the two of those, and Stephen Williams runs it to the line.
If Port Adelaide are suffering anywhere, in my opinion, it's around that half-back line. They're just, I know that Greg Phillips didn't have the best of seasons last year, but and no disrespect to Darryl Wakeland, but it takes a while for them to reorganise themselves there, Steve.
There's no doubt about it. They'll miss Phillips probably more than they even imagine themselves. This is Angove. One step and bangs it towards centre wing. Smith, the big punch up, but they're there in numbers. Rogers, the acting captain in the absence of Peter Schwarz today, to half forward it goes, just eludes Morford. Great run. Looked to be Carter. Comes back to him. A great little smother also there by Chapman. Works hard on the second effort, but goes over the shoulder. And the umpire pays a free to Port and then turns it over. Well, the Eagles crowd love it. Port Adelaide not so happy. Tottenham in towards Taylor. Doesn't quite get there this time. Off hands to Thorne. Has the first one. Rolls into the goals and he's got it. What a great start by the youngster in his second game from Launceston. 2 straight goals. The Eagles at 2-1. Port at 2 points. Just over 8 minutes into the first term.
Well, I failed to pick up his name earlier in this game because I haven't seen much of him. Just watched the crump. Beautifully done. Very confidently. Didn't kick it high. Was worried about the smother. Went underneath the smother along the ground and did it very confidently. Rowan Thorne, 2 goals.
2-1 to 2 points. We're coming up to 9 minutes into the first term. What a great start in front of a big crowd. At least 15,000. We'll get a number on that later. Williams over the head was clever, but didn't go far enough. Chapman works back and gets it away. To it looked to be Pays working back into defence. Gets it forward and well taken by Jason Ziller. Takes a good mark for a small player. Hands off to Pays. They look so much for Taylor dropping back and doing some excellent work. Here's Darren Mead in his return game. He'll be an important player for them.
I've got a lot of respect for Darren Mead. I think he can play just about anywhere. He might end up at centre-half back. He certainly can play in the ruck. He's quick. He can jump. What an athlete. I'd like to see more of him around the ball, if possible. Loose ball, Devine, short, good kick. Filippo, chip. Oh, in space is Cluzek. He's got an absolute mile. Confused by the space in the end. He's on 50. Devine coming down, but he'll go to the square. He's wildly offline again. Now that breeze is very strong to the right, Steve, and will take a little bit of controlling coming with it and kicking around the angles.
It's just a little fluky. It's certainly going to the right of screen from the north to the south, but it's also jumping around the place a little, so it will take some concentration in front of the goals. It will also take some good running work to get it up into this breeze. This is Delaney from fullback. Punches at the far side. Mead is the target. Falls into the arms, though, of Wakeland, I think. Gets it away to Barch. Good running provided on the far side by McKay. Beautiful looking kick into this stiff breeze. Smith provides the option. Drags it back inside, but not far enough. And it goes over. So Darren Smith with a big job. Needs to be competitive throughout the day to get some run through that line, because, of course, if they get it up to that full forward line, the real dangers are Tylor and Hodges. Stephen Williams, a no contest in the end in the rucking division. Stephen Williams' kick goes higher than it goes long. Big thump away. The spoil is on. Well picked up by May. Fires it up towards the goals just across the face, and Schwarz runs it to the line.
Good effort and a good tackle on him to keep the pressure on and force the error. 10 minutes gone. 12-point advantage to the Eagles. The difference is they just kick straight. Throw in. Forward pocket. In ruck, Hodges. Negri. Hodges from behind. Did the ruck work, stole it out of the hands. Everybody waits for it. Tyler down, shrugs the tackle, too easy. Smith reverse punt. Goal. Too easy by Tylor. No one at the body. The Magpies are away.
Great reflex in post, wasn't it? Hodges a little arrogantly took it out of the air, but Tylor unselfishly this way. They could have almost had a shot from there, but the reflex was outstanding. And as Neville suggested, the check side punt from close range probably got a little bend and just enough to bring it back into the breeze, hold its line. Terrific kick and a good start.
Eagles are 14, Port Adelaide are 8. 6-point advantage to the Eagles. Back in the centre. Let's see who can clear the square. Number 12 for Port Adelaide is Gaffney. The kick is poor. Finds May. Rowan Smith by himself. Fumbles. Pays is with him. Inside he goes. Puts a bit of pressure this time on Angove. His kick is wide, close to the line, and it'll go out of bounds. So the man at the body is good by both teams. The in-close football is pretty hard. And probably the only mistakes. Darren Smith dropped the mark on the eastern side of the ground, and Tyler weaved his way through a couple of Eagles players. the only criticisms you'd have so far, and that's trying to find them. Smith smothered, Devine, chance, Ginniver caught, Tottenham got him, Swars over the top. Long handball is magnificent to Morford, and the Eagles are dangerous. Phillippo in front, 2 grams, can't take it. Good pressure, Wakeland, Mead backwards, and Barch relieves the pressure. 1-on-1, Zilla, that's Jason, McKay, Zilla. And the Maggie fans hate it. The kick-in is good, but in the way, Barch.
Playing beautifully early in this game, Darren Barch. A huge reputation that he needs to live up to. We're expecting a lot of him to be at Port Adelaide. This finally comes out to Tottenham. Series of handballs, bangs it away towards the goals offline. So a wasted opportunity. Barch is sitting back well. He's playing the back play, reading it, providing some support. And when Phillippo dropped that mark just a moment ago, it wasn't an easy one to take by any means. Barch was there in support, and that's just what they need at centre-half back with the young and inexperienced Wakeland. Delaney to the far side. What's happened? Up over the top, looked to be Zilla. Into the arms now of Tottenham. Chip pass on the left leg. Big fist from Delaney. Working well. Number 25 is Troy Olsen. Got a little bit of pace, hasn't he? Carried the ball 30 or 40 metres, then gets it away. Short pass indoors. Hodges can't quite take it. Look classic. Wheels around. How many times do you see this from him? Off the side of the boot, though. Goes very high. Takes some catching. Not going to be this case. Oh, gee, Port Adelaide are working hard in their forward line to keep it in. Great football.
Spear is absolutely... Well, he's very upset, I should say. And felt he was held. Umpires right on the scene, though. 14 minutes gone. It's the Eagles by 7 points. Negri, Smith in ruck. Negri, quick one, Devine, around the corner, close to the boundary line. Caught McKay. Jason Zilla. There as well, May. That's Trevor May. He had 24 touches last week, kicked 1 goal. Not a bad find.
Certainly a chunky little player. Port Adelaide is one of those who just keeps on falling from the trees. Tottenham's been very good early. Quite industrious from inside the half-back line. Fires at centre wing. Great take. Do you mind how quick was that from Kluzek to the run of Zilla, I think, far side. What's the umpire done? He's brought it back and called it to go over the mark.
So quick, the umpire didn't see he handballed it on. Held up play. It was sensational, wasn't it?
In the absence of a TV monitor up here, you could have been excused for that. Probably it was so quick from Kluzek. Really broke up the Port Adelaide defensive action, and Mead, I think, was bemused by the whole thing, and very lucky in the end that it's come back. He's a real talent, Matthew Kluzek, and a very versatile player. Towards centre-half forward, the big fist away from Wakeland. Williams, reflex to no one in particular, has come loose. A couple of Eagles players in there. One is Chapman into the forward pocket and over the line. So not quite as direct as they usually are, the Eagles. 2-3 to 1-2. The margin is 7 points.
Let's have a look at this in replay again. Kluzak to ground, and there he goes. Handball's out to Jason Zilla. The umpire just didn't see it. Thought the ball had spilled, called it back. Morford offline. Eagles are 2-3. Port Adelaide are 1-2. And despite getting away quickly, Port Adelaide, Hodges missed and Gaffney missed. They could have been well and truly, they could have almost been in front, Steve.
They've had most of the play so far. There's no doubt about that. Watch for Jason Zilla. Handballs off to Tottenham, so very good early. Thumps it at the goals, but he's missed. But not by much, just hit the post. And one behind, 2-4 the Eagles, Porter 1-2.
Case of inaccuracy on both sides. 6 shots for 2 goals, the Eagles. 3 shots for 1, Port Adelaide. 8-point advantage for the Eagles. Roger Delaney will bring the ball in. And his choices, Mead, probably. No, picks out centre and does it pretty well. To Hull. Short. Smith. With a chance, Steven Zilla. Slips May. Comes inside and finds on a lead Neiman. He'll go for Taylor. Out in front. Taylor's got the body, got the advantage. Delaney there, free kick. I don't think so. What do you think?
might wait until I see the replay. I think it was tight, wasn't it? I was just thinking as that happened, yes, he held onto him. But they are a bit touchy. I think Delaney conceded in the end, but I was just thinking when he went for it, how close Delaney actually sticks to him, because Taylor only had to use the body. Delaney was fantastic.
Yeah, both bodies, don't, in a game like this with so much at stake and very classy teams, I think it's a bit technical, but nonetheless, certainly if you were umpiring on a technical basis, you'd probably have to give it. Watch it again. Holding. There's no doubt he held him, and technically had to get the free kick, but nonetheless, Taylor, he'd be happy with that. They're coming a bit harder than they were this time last week.
3-4 the Eagles, Porter 1-2. 18.5 minutes into a very exciting first term. The bounce down in the middle of the ground favours the Eagles. Chapman gets the thump away. Going against the play was Phillippo. Was Stephen Ziller held? It doesn't matter. Goes to the far side for Port Adelaide. May overruns it. Working back is Freeborn. A little bit of poise. Round the body he goes. Only Daryl Wakelin in sight. Good mark. Just thought for a moment that got behind him. The run is provided by Angove. McKay, Freeborn up over the top. Big smash towards the line and goes over.
And the breeze still favouring the right screen, and the Eagles have got the breeze early in this game. I've got a feeling it might drop away, might have some influence. 18 gone. Barch and Negri. Finally, Negri takes it. Devine, Smith, Williams. Quick kick along the ground. May, clever, caught by the feet. And clever Freeborn tried to play it on and is allowed to. Short, Hodges can't take it. This is Nicol, the left footer. Back through the centre, tries to pick off Jason Ziller. Can't. He's good enough to win out, though. Oh, they absolutely mob him. Kick to advantage, though, as the ball comes into Phillippo, and the Eagles have taken over 50 again. Watch for Taylor. That's the way it'll go. Or is it Negri? In space. Barch with him, but too late.
It's well done by Romy Negri. He worked very hard to get down and present himself as an option. Saw the space at left half forward, ran hard, got in there. Thought the good work was done by Phillippo. He really needs to do more of that hard body work, because if he's got a player standing on him, he must take the initiative, push him off and give himself a bit of space, otherwise he's going to be blanketed. He just that on that occasion gave himself a chance.
Yes, had 20 touches last week, 25 hit-outs, the big fella. Had a big game. Not always reliable in front of goal, but he's made no mistake with that and would be delighted with his kick. Doesn't kick a lot, but he's kicked the Eagles along to 4-4, 28. They lead Port 1-8.
No, it's not a matter of putting too much of your hard-earned on it when someone like Negri gets the ball in front of goals. But there's Phillippo, just edged out Wakelin, gave himself some space, and then had the presence to find Negri. It was a good piece of work and good finishing. 4-4 to 1-2.
28 plays 8. The Eagles by 20 points. First quarter of the Anzac Day game. 1 plays 2. Pace setters in the local comp. The ground was Spalding, but not before he got it as far as Gaffney. The youngster goes in towards Hodges. Oh, well spot on that occasion by Spear. Back to Geneva. Smith, the charts. Open goal, left foot, bang, away he goes. Good reply to Maggies. Smith kicks his second. Both Port goals.
What a simply magnificent handball from Tim Geneva. Watch this in the clinches. Williams got it away. Geneva probably could have banged it on the left leg, but that is the perfectly weighted handball. Against the breeze, Smith really couldn't miss it from there, running in on the left leg. Nailed it through for the second, but Tim Geneva take a bow.
Eagles are 4-4, 28. Port Adelaide staying in the game, though. They're 2-2, 14. Barch. Negri gets this one. May again. Quick hands. McKay left it behind. Totham backwards. Rogers safe and sure. Morford over the top of him. They want the run. He'll punch it forward. Certainly, if he can get it to Jason Ziller, he can. To advantage. Open goal. Bang! Oh, and the Eagles look good when they get it in quick. He's first. And the Eagles extend their lead to 34 points.
This game's only 22 minutes old, but the Eagles on balls are doing some damage. The Ziller brothers, Chapman and Totham through the middle of the ground. They've also got young Rowan Thorne in there in just his second game. He's kicked to the Eagles' first 2 goals. He's also in a roving role by the looks, so it's a following department for them, doing all of the damage at the moment. Jason Ziller there with a chance to finish off.
Yes, 34-14, so 20-point margin again for the Eagles. Negri, this time Barch. Pays is there. Quick kick forward. The Maggies underneath it, Smith. Important roll at centre-half forward. Away they go. Hodges. Watch for him. The kick is a shocker. Puts Hodges under pressure. Not out in front of him. Spear. Backwards to Thorne. Around the corner he goes. The runners with Pays. The Shepherd is good. That was Chapman. Out of screen, and Morford can't keep it in. Out of bounds. Ango will go with him. And Ango got the job on Morford and Morford and Tottenham, who I think are ruck roving. So the diametric centre of the ground in front of our commentary position, a throw-in. About 10,000 to 12,000 spectators here at Footy Park. A good crowd. Pays. Tight. And happy to see it. Probably should have stepped back quicker before May made a meal of him. There he is. He's had a few touches early too.
He's a very quick little player. He's going to need to be on his mettle today, though, because the Eagles Rovers are very, very incisive, very active. Great tap from Negri to Tottenham to Thorne. It's just textbook stuff into the centre of the ground, and a terrific mark taken there by Kluzek, I think it is. Plays on all the time, doesn't he? Doesn't give the Port defence much chance. He gets the thump as he delivers the ball. Watch for Taylor, great mark. Well, Roger, you've got your hands full today because Andrew Taylor is in rare form.
He's superb when he's at it, Delaney. Watch him stay on the ground. He dropped his head left of screen, and he just got beaten for body then, but no doubt about it, the quick kick is important.
Great kick from Taylor right through the centre. Gets his second, and Port Adelaide are under some siege early. They've played well against the breeze, but the Eagles just keep bouncing back.
Yes, and the kick in from Kluzak, which really gave the forward all the opportunity. He got it in deep and long and quick and one out, and that's exactly how he likes them. And as Stephen Trigg said a bit earlier, Delaney, there's not much you can do about that when the ball comes in so quickly. Good effort, and Taylor already damaging with 2 goals.
Right into time on, and it's 6-4 to 2-2. The Eagles are enjoying a 26-point advantage. We suggested at the start of the game that this breeze might be worth 3 or 4 goals. That's exactly the margin at the moment. 4-2, in fact. This is Mead at centre-half back or half-back. Kluzak will provide some pressure. By geez, clever, isn't he? Great to watch, and has Phillippo. Well, that's exciting play, Matthew Kluzak. Phillippo, good-looking drop punt. In towards Neiman, and the big mitts up takes a great mark inside half forward.
How do you stop them though? You've got Taylor, and you've got Neiman up there, you've got Phillippo at centre half forward.
How good was Kluzak on the far side? Just a little a nudge, little hip and shoulder, just to displace Mead, who's probably carrying 10 kilograms more, and then got into Phillippo. Let's have a look now at David Neiman, who a couple of weeks ago kicked 6 against Sturt. Thumps it up towards the goals. He's a reliable kick for goals, and he's got it. Gets his first. Great start by the Eagles. They get their 7th.
Well, the options they have. Phillippo puts it in long. Watch for Neiman. In the end there, he virtually called out Scott Morford, and he had all the right to. In most cases, you would call the player in, but the big fella coming down, he probably would have killed Morford. Did it well. Their options are very numerous here at the moment.
7-4 the Eagles, 2-2 to Port Adelaide. 26.5 minutes into what has been a fantastic first term. The Anzac Day clash between the 2 heavyweights. Williams needs to lift in the centre of the ground to give Port a chance. McKay, because his opponent in Chapman is doing it very easily. Gets it away from centre square this time. Neiman, look at that. Slick as you like to Tottenham. Have a go at them, Stuart. No problem at all. What a terrific goal. Well sneaked through by Neiman. Tottenham thought about hitting the head of the square, but in the end, I think he made up his mind. Well, why not?
Well, the Magpies in danger of this gap getting far too wide early in the game. Too much run, too many options, and too many skills. The Eagles at the moment looked inside, you saw that perfectly, said, I might as well have a shot. had plenty of time. The voices were probably there to do the same, and he did well. Posted his first.
Wow, 8-4 to 2-2. 52 to 14, 27 and a half minutes in. We're going to get some time on now, that's for sure. Port Adelaide have copped a pasting in the centre square. They're going to win this one, but not quite. Yes, they will. Gaffney, Smith, Spalding, forward it goes, but only as far as Nicol. And Stewie Nichol's very composed at half-back, takes it and punches it towards Rummy. Plays on. Spears provided the run. Watch out, Jason, you're under siege. Gets the kick away. The Port Adelaide defensive action is good. Pushes Taylor to the forward pocket. And I'm sure that Delaney will run it across the line. He does. Under some pressure, isn't he?
Yes, he is, but the problem's coming upfield. They're just not getting enough of their small men into the play. The numbers and the support just aren't there. They're getting out-crumbed and whizzing the ball away. And when it gets out to the open, Port Adelaide just haven't got the pace to go with the Eagles at the moment. They've got to do a lot more work, Port Adelaide, otherwise they're going to get trounced here again. Chapman from 30. Bang! Gone! Oh, the Eagles can't stop them. Chapman's first.
Just not enough pressure from Port Adelaide inside half-back. They all seem to have a man, but Chapman just emerged from nowhere. I was trying to find where Stephen Williams was because he's the man picking up Chapman. And he's doing it hard at the moment, the veteran Stephen, because Chapman is on fire in the centre. It's not just his finishing work, he's really generating much play from the centre.
Well, there's the scoreline. Unbelievable, isn't it? 4 minutes into time on, 9-4-2-2. The Eagles, second semi all over again. Out of the centre, quick kick with Spalding. Loose ball. Stephen Ziller. Held. No possession. From the centre of the ground. His target is Taylor. He hit the kick brilliantly and great catch. Quick kick on. Close to goal. I think they've done it. Kluzak. He's beaten everything. His first goal, though. How about the catch from Taylor?
Well, it was a wonderful take. But as we've mentioned so often, Port Adelaide are getting an absolute thumping out of the centre square. Really putting Angove and the like under pressure. Stephen Carter there. Stephen Carter just couldn't do much about it. Kluzak, I'm not sure if he knew where the goals were. He must have, because he thumped it up there and it just went straight through the centre.
Yes, 10-4 plays 2-2. 50 points as players get excited. Port Adelaide have to do something. Maybe if you biff someone, it might get someone excited. They've come off second best. Can't tell you who's down.
That's Wakeland.
Wakeland, thanks, Steve. We're on the 50 for the Eagles. Ginnivan. This might stir the Maggies. A chance now for Spalding. Shrugs plays. He's in a school of Eagles. Finally, it's Smith. That's Rowan Smith. He goes up towards Darren Smith in the way. Too good on that occasion. It's number 30 in Glenn Freeborn.
Wakeland still hasn't moved at centre half back. They'll want to shut some numbers down there very smartly because they're outnumbered at the moment. Morfitt, he's got a runner on the far side. This game has come to life, no doubt about it. If it hasn't been so already, Spear inside. This is where they're outnumbered. Carter does well to take it. There are 3 trainers attending.
And a stretcher.
Wakeland and a stretcher coming out, so we're headed for a very, very long quarter.
The Port fans are irate.
Well, Sam Philippou was involved in it, so too was Hull. And there's no inference there as to how it ended up with Wakeland because it genuinely didn't see what happened to him. But the players came from all over the park. Now they're still getting involved, and I think
again.
Sam Philippou's right in the middle of that.
Yes, there's going to be a square up. You can't... I don't think I've ever seen a Port Adelaide player taken off on a stretcher without some sort of reply.
Well, amidst all of that, that red thing is the ball, and it's at half-back with Stephen Carter. Punches at the centre wing. Neiman, was he held? The umpires would probably play a few free kicks now to try and settle things down as Ginnivan gets it to half-forward. Smith uses the body. Good work in there by the Eagles defence, and Chapman, you think he hasn't played a first quarter, gets away with it again. He is the most underrated player in the competition, I reckon. Paul Chapman
No doubt about
keeps
it.
on getting kicks.
No doubt about it. I share that, and a mystery why he hasn't been drafted. Not that I'm keen to see him leave South Australia, but he's an enormous talent and could have quite possibly been a candidate for a South Australian jumper versus Victoria. But as Graham Corn said, he's Probably got enough of those sorts of midfielders, but one of the best here. A pack of players on the far side. Neiman's in there, working hard. Phillippo there as well. Neiman gets a kick away. Only as far as Jason Ziller. Quickly around the body. Taylor overruns it. Delaney's there, so too is Olsen. And a free kick going to Magpies' ways. Here we go again.
I don't think there's any doubt that Roger Delaney is fairly fired up out there at the moment. So too is Olsen, and there's no love lost with Taylor, but I'm not sure they're headed in the right direction at the moment because Taylor wasn't involved in that mess that saw Wakeman come off of the ground. Either way, there's
And
enormous
50.
spirit in this.
And 50. 25.
Something for the Port Adelaide fans to cheer about. They've had a miserable term so far, particularly in the last 10 minutes. Great handball from the clinchers. Rowan Smith, here's a chance for them. Not quite to Hodges. Alan Schwartz has done very well early in this game. Cleaning up work by Stephen Ziller. Rogers, it's on behind the play again. There's plenty of action off the ball. Don't worry about that. Here's Phillippo. Negri. Thorne. It is just copybook. Kluzek, Morfitt, goal. No, he's hit the post. Well, wouldn't that have made Port Adelaide pay?
They're just so dangerous, aren't they? They're coming out of defence so quickly. We've played 35 minutes in this quarter, Steve. 10 minutes of time on. We've had 12 goals kicked and a player on a stretcher. That's why, as Olsen brings the ball back into play to... That was Williams. The runner out of defence is Ango through the centre of the ground. Rogers, nickel, left boot, puts it up high. He's got Jason Ziller underneath it. Going back was Carter. Plenty of courage. May is there as well. Morfitt, Kluzak, in goes Carter again. And just happy to hold the ball up.
Absolutely silky smooth at the moment, the Eagles, aren't they? They're clean with their ball handling. They're getting it to that forward line quickly. And if my memory serves me right, when the Eagles were beat Port Adelaide in the second semi last year, there was some talk about the Port reign being over. They're being challenged now as Tottenham thumps it up towards the goals and has got it. Stuart Tottenham on the siren for quarter time gets his second to make it an 11-goal term for the Eagles. What a magnificent start to a wonderful Anzac Day clash. The crowd stand as one to applaud the players from both sides. 11-5 the Eagles, 71 to Port Adelaide's 2-2. This fantastic action coming to you exclusively throughout South Australia and the Northern Territory on ABC Sport. Seven points the difference at the start of the second term. Preceding what has been a very fiery opening in a long term that saw Michael Wakeman stretch it off of the ground. Wonderful start by the Eagles, generated much in part by that man Chapman, who is having an absolute field day. This is Pays. Gives some ground to make some space. They work it out again, and Chapman, as always, on the end of it, finds Neiman. It is absolutely pinpoint accuracy. 11-5 to 2-2. Don't see many 11-goal terms. The Eagles did it against the second side and a very tough side in Port Adelaide. Neiman to the head of the square. Watch for Taylor. He's got it. Just the start that Port Adelaide didn't need. Taylor gets his third. He dribbles it off of the ground. The Eagles get their 12th.
He worked very hard for that, Taylor. The ball came in high to the front of the square. Neiman, make no mistake, was headed to goal. What's Taylor said? He works very hard to get to the front of the pack there and then does the crumbing himself off the ground. He won't get an easier goal than that, but I've got to say, where were the Port crummers?
(12-5 to 2-2). Just over a minute into the second term. Port Adelaide can't take a trick out of the centre square. This is where they're being absolutely thrashed. Negri is controlling the run, and Barch is copying a pasting at the moment. This is Chapman. Again, they work it out. Jason Ziller, watch for the paddle. This time, Port Adelaide get it away through Gaffney. Left leg, around the body, into the path of Tyler, who's come a long way out from goals. Really get a sniff other than one handball in the first term. Spear runs it to the line, and it goes over. So Port Adelaide, it's now time to stand up and be counted, boys.
Yes, indeed. And Delaney's been moved. He's come out to centre-half back. And I think that's probably a good move. They've got to try something, the Magpies. They just can't get it over half-forward at the moment, so in lots of strife very early in this game, and you would never have picked this. 12-5, plays 2-2, and going to full back.
It's Hull.
It's Hull. No, in fact, I think that's
Olsen, is it?
That's Olsen, Troy Olsen at full back. So they've just mixed it up a little bit, and in an attempt, I guess, to try and prevent the run-through that the Eagles have got at the moment. It's just been far too easy as the ball comes in high. Hodges, a chance.
It's good when he's on the end of them and they come in very quickly. Certainly doesn't lack any courage either, Scotty. Really attack the ball there. They need him firing. I suspect that if they're going to win this game, Port Adelaide, he's going to need a bag of 8 or 10 from here on in.
He's going to have to kick plenty, isn't he? He's the player they're going to rely on. He and Taylor, and he comes from 40. Should be an absolute snack for Scotty. Not a problem, and that's the sort of start that Port Adelaide want as he gets away to his first goal.
Port Adelaide really need to do something in the centre square. Jennifer's one player who'll work hard in there. Stephen Williams, who handed that one off, is another, but they just need to win some ball out of there, particularly with the breeze at their backs. Give their forwards a chance one-on-one. They've got the quality down there with Hodges and Tyler. They need it down there quick smart.
12-5, 77 the Eagles. Port Adelaide at 3-2, 20. 57-point margin, early second quarter. Anzac Day clash. Chapman out of the centre. And that boy play all Watt and Neiman. Just carving them up across half-back, half-forward and full forward are the Eagles. Watch Taylor again. Olsen's got him here. It's all over the top of him. Free kick. Oh, you can't complain about that. Troy Olsen, have a look at it.
Port Adelaide have robbed Peter to pay Paul here at the moment.
I don't think I've seen a worse attempt at sport. I don't know what he was trying to do. They're just so conscious of the players.
Olsen panicked. Delaney's gone to half-back, as you say, but he's just the man to pick up Taylor.
Taylor has 3 and offline. Normally would have made an absolute meal of that, but yes, they've got to do more work around the centre, don't they, Port Adelaide? They've got to get their smaller guys to the fall of the ball, and they've got to make sure that the Eagles can't carry it away, run over a line and make it easy for those forwards.
Delaney kicks in to half-back. Barch this time takes the mark. Now as he lifts the eyes, he's got a fairly congested half-forward line. Darren Smith is one option, not used. The player was Hull, gets it away towards this player in Spalding. Around the body he goes, but it's not direct enough, is it? In fact, it wasn't Spalding, it was Michael Wharton. He goes across the line, so Port Adelaide are under real siege. 57 points into the quarter time. It's now 58 points the difference. And they need some spark. Darren Smith can give it to them. Here's a chance. Quick entry, watch for Hodges. Too strong. Well, it might not do Port Adelaide any harm to have this guy fired up, because when he plays on some emotion, he plays beautifully.
Yes, he does, and he's an enormously talented player on a lead, and within 50 metres of goal, very rarely misses. He's very accurate, conversion is high, and they need him. He's a big timer.
Hodges, 25, 30 metres out. No problem, Scotty gets his second. And Port Adelaide get their 4th. Much needed goal, 12-6 to 4-2.
Yeah, so you mentioned it might be a competition between Hodges, Taylor, Phillippo, and the start that the Eagles have got might reduce it to just a whole team of battlers at the moment, but they're battling it forward, and if they can get it up to Hodges, he's always a chance to kick a goal.
12-6 to 4-2, 6 minutes into the second term. And if Port Adelaide want to do something a little defensive, they need to close down Paul Chapman in the centre, man him up, block him out of the game because he's causing so much havoc. Well done, Barch. Gets it to May. Play on, calls the umpire. You're going to be claimed, Trevor. Gets it away to Darren Smith. Looks to run around Devine. Short pass is going to be picked off by Rogers. It is. The player who committed himself was Stephen Williams. Can't quite squeeze it out to Darren Smith. Williams is in there fighting again, but the umpire has found a free kick. The go against Darren Smith. The run now of Devine to Rogers. Runs it away to centre wing, far side. Watch for Big Romy. Gets the telescopic arms up. Can't take it. And some of those boos I think you'll find from the Port fans are for Sam Phillippo, who, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't see the incident, but Port fans have a feeling that there was something to do with the Eagles' number 17. Little game of volleyball in there, not quite working. Possession required. Holding the ball? No, the umpire says throw it in, far side of the ground. So a little stilted just for a couple of moments. This game has been highlighted by free-flowing and very physical play. Hope you're enjoying the action on ABC Sport. We're thoroughly enjoying it at the moment. One of the best games that we'll see this year, I'm sure. And a real challenge for Port Adelaide. Chapman, there he is again. They've just got to close him down. He's generating so much ball for the Eagles as Payes gets it to Neiman. Far side. And it's monotonous. Chapman finds someone, he finds a runner, and then Neiman or Taylor get on the end of it. Neiman intelligently to the head of the square. Taylor a little shove out. The umpire called it shove the other way though. I think he missed the first one, and he's paid a 50-metre penalty.
So Thorne was on the end of the scrum, but let's have a look at it. That was an obvious push. Mead gets the free kick, and maybe all Taylor had to do was bring the ball to ground. Another certain goal. They certainly cover the packs well, and Neiman another target. They're almost playing with three key players, so Taylor stays back in the square. Neiman comes up the ground a bit, and even Philippa a bit further, so they've almost got, they've got three tall key players to come, particularly when the ball's up this end of the ground. That was May, high. Oh, he's hit the post. So not the day that Port Adelaide really want out. A few times they've gone forward, though. They've been very accurate. They've kicked 4-3.
In fact, it's 12-6 to 4-3. 51 points the difference. Port Adelaide have reeled it in by 6 from quarter time. To say the very least, they'll need to do a lot more than that. The big thump to the front of the pack. Zilla was in there, couldn't take it. Good pack of players throwing themselves in. There's going to be some tired boys by the end of this because it's another warm day at Football Park. Rogers weaves his way through. Great body work from Tyler. Can they finish it off? Trevor May had the last shot. He's got this one on the left leg. He's thumped it to the goals and he's got it. Great play, young fellow. Gets Port Adelaide's fifth, his first. 12-6 to 5-3.
Well, why that clash was on, Stephen, I was going to make the comment that it's in these clashes, these tight, in-hard body clashes, where the ball's been lost to Port Adelaide, and they keep getting beaten here. But on this occasion, watch Taylor come in. Watch this. Bang, crack. And Freeborn's dispossessed. That's what makes the tight clashes turn around, and Port Adelaide need to do just that. They scored immediately.
10 minutes into the second term, the game's still alive because Port Adelaide have the breeze at their back. 12-6 to 5-3. They need to win some centre square. Now they're starting to get it fired up. Players all over the ground are sprawled in the centre square. Ginnivan gets it forward. Have a look for Smith. Hodges, can he get his third in as many minutes? Round the corner, yes sir! Port Adelaide are on the rampage. Hodges gets his third. Port Adelaide get their sixth. 12-6 to 6-3. Third term, 17-10 to 9-8, 50 points the difference. Just keep that buffer, the Eagles, don't they?
It's not a bad buffer either.
Tough one to peg back against the top side now. Delaney's reluctant to kick because he can't find a clear option. In the end, he goes straight to ball A's. Oh, he's absolutely crunched. He gets a free kick. The umpire calls play on the far side, the run of Angove. McKay goes back to provide some protection for the carrier. Darren Smith, they need you to take some catches, Darren. The crumbing works for someone else. Here's McKay again. Is this kick going to be a better one? He thumps it up towards the line. Hodges, watch for him. One arm up, couldn't take it. Jason Spears in the hottest seat in the house. Runs it back, sneaks it inside to Devine. They run it across the face of goals. Cooley to Nickel. Far side, very industrious, isn't it? And finds Stephen Zilla.
Yes, they convert the play to the outer side. And Devine there again, interception. Lawton McKay combined. Now they need... Oh, what a sensational piece of work, Cluzak. Oh, what an incredible rundown.
They actually pushed him. Oh, holding the ball was the call, but tough ones to decide on.
Should have been in the back, no doubt about it, but a good piece of work all the same if you get away with it. And Morford, Taylor, Zilla, Jason, goal, the Eagles. Talk about hope and despair, he's third. 13 minutes into the third term. Port Adelaide have done all of the attacking.
yet the Eagles, when they get perhaps their second entry, clean entry for the term, nail it through. So that's the difference. It's nice and clean and it's quick. Taylor provided the option, but Ziller just ran so hard into the right spot, gave himself every chance, and when it came to him, he made no mistake.
18-10, the Eagles, 9-8, Port Adelaide. And the scoreline you don't often see with the Magpies. They're long from gone, though. There's plenty of time left. A quarter and a half to go. Stuart Nicol, just sheer strength. Phillipou had 23-7 and 6 marks, 14 marks and 6 goals last week. Huge stats. Taylor's the target. Just drifts over the line. It's a point. And he has a fair influence at half forward, Phillipou.
Certainly does when he's in good form. I mentioned about Jason Spear being in the hottest seat in the house. Aaron Mead might dispute that. It's pretty warm down his end as well. Delaney, what's he got this time? Barch presents himself, gets pushed out of it too easily for a man who's about 105 kilograms. Ends up back with Tottenham. The Eagles are threatening to take this game away. Tottenham's kick's perfect. Just perfect, gets his third, and the Eagles get their 19th. Just holding the Magpies at arm's length, 19-11 to 9-8.
Yes, Delaney brought the ball in. It's just the numbers. The Crummers have always been superior today. Neiman was the Crummer, and not bad for about 198 centimetres. And Tottenham, one step at goal. Shows you how classic. The Eagles very rarely put the ball down on their hands, and they're very, very clever. Made very few errors today. Use each other brilliantly.
15 minutes into the third term. It's 19-11 to 9-8. 10 goals and 3 behinds. It's a very tough one for Port Adelaide from here. They've thrown everything at the Eagles. And admirably, the Woodville West Torrens side have withstood it. Tyler, interestingly, with a run on the ball. Sneaks it away towards Spalding. Magnificent looking torpedo punt from one step. Borlow's provided the option. McKay's run has been good. Great tackling. It's been a feature of this game. Squeaks out towards Freeborn. He comes into free territory. Close side of the ground, grandstand side, into the path of Morford. Watch for the left leg, it's clever. Pays. Tottenham does it too easily in the end, then chips it, watch out. You'd have to take some courage in there. That's just what Jason Ziller has got. Beautiful dispatch as well to Neiman.
Hey, if you were Scotty Morford, you'd have been pretty happy to see Ziller there, wouldn't you?
Yours.
He was committed to go. He's probably thinking to himself, my God, I've got to run into a Port player here. But out of nowhere came Ziller and saved the day for him.
Chunky Jason Ziller. Kicked the last one, and was the second to last one. He's been influential. David Neiman. If he wanted the breeze perfectly, it's just where it is, where he'd want it. Look at that for a kick. They just can't do anything wrong, the Eagles. The breeze was in a perfect spot for him. David Neiman gets his second. So if Taylor, Phillipou and the Ziller brothers don't get you, then Neiman will.
That pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? You've got Neiman, Taylor, Phillipou working around the half forward and full forward zone. Neiman just comes out to full forward when the ball out to centre half forward. So they almost got 3 centre half forwards, and all of them kick goals.
Wonderful performance by the Eagles. 20-11, 131 to 9-8, 62. Nearly up to 17 minutes, and the game has swung around in the centre. The Eagles are starting to get on top in there now. After being threatened by Port Adelaide, they've thrown their best shot at the Magpies, I think. Freeborn to Kluzek. They're not big names, these guys, but they just keep running hard and getting the football. Here's another one in Thorne on the far side. He has 3. That looked a little scrappy. He kicked the first 2, but he's an exciting player, formerly from Launceston and in Tassie. And he has been quite sensational.
Throw in, and Angove takes it away from half forward over the centre line towards half forward. Underneath it, Nicol. And hasn't he been a sensation today too? Big man strength. The runners with Spear. Scotty Hodges doing the chasing. You have to keep going. It's beautifully done inside by Hannum. Finally, the kick in, and Taylor is good. Devine was the player that set it in. And the Eagles' defence just keeps turning defence into attack.
Standing pretty well through half-back, aren't they? Nicol He's a very solid player, but the run of Devine, Spear, the ruck rovers in Tottenham and Morphett working back has been great.
Taylor has 21 for the season up till today. He kicked 12 last week, and he won't add any with that. And he's kicked 4 today, so goes to 25 goals for the season, half of them in 1 week. Roger Delaney, you said his seat's pretty hot. He's had a mixture. He's had Taylor and Neiman today, and when the ball comes in quickly, it's pretty hard.
Desperately hard for defenders when the volume of balls coming down, as it is from the Eagles, pays. The further this game has gone, the much better he's become. He thumps it in quickly. Watch for the big man at the back in Neiman. Mead is athletic and gets over the top. Great pressure on Barch by Morphett. The umpire should say play on and does. 35 to 34 is May to Angove. Tremendous pace. Look at that for a stab pass. Beautiful. McKay. The run of Angove. I like this guy's style. He runs it inside half forward. Hodges is pushed. Still stands his ground. I think in the end Spear might have taken the mark. Did he throw that? Port Adelaide think yes. Devine gives it away to Schwartz. Speaking of good-looking short passes, it just circumvents big Romy Negri and goes across the line.
Romy says that's okay. Quite possibly Romy might have wanted that one a little bit higher, you think. Not big around his ankles. He hasn't seen his ankles for 4 years, Romy. Barch and Negri in ruck. Negri that time wins out in the end. Big punch forward. Kluzak, great body work. Clever as you like. Inside, Tottenham's a runner. Over 50, he'll have a pop shot. Mead judges it brilliantly, but he doesn't get there. It's a procession here at Football Park. An absolute parade on Anzac Day.
It's a great piece of work from Tottenham. But as you called, Kluzak used his body beautifully. He did one in the first term, I think it was, when he just bustled Mead off of the ball and then brought it back into Philippo. It was a wonderful piece of work. He did exactly the same there. That's Tottenham's 4th for the day. That's not bad for a ruck rover. Resting at half forward. 4 goals, 2.
21-12 the Eagles, Porter 9-8, and clearly the team to beat in season 94. They've stamped it here today. This could be a preview of the Foundation Cup, no doubt, and a game that Port Adelaide, the way it's going, might like to forget. I'll never give it up though. Rowan Smith has the footy. Hodges is the target. Up he goes and takes a big one.
Didn't like it.
Spear and Hodges together, and I guess when you wear a player like Spear, who is a pretty tough player, you can get fairly frustrated, and good luck to the both of them. They did that pretty well. He's a bit upset, Spear, but...
Made him earn it, didn't he? That's for sure.
And he has all day. There's nothing wrong with it. The clash is good. The contest's a beauty. From 45, I'd back him. He doesn't miss many. 5 to the Port Adelaide champion. And maybe again he might ignite something in the Magpie ranks.
We obviously learned from a shot that he had from a very similar spot perhaps 10 minutes ago. Slid off the side of the boot on that occasion, and I think it was across the line and out of bounds on the full that time. Breeze is still maintaining its same direction, the same strength. Port Adelaide will come home with it. If they're going to get to us, keep in this game and come home with a rattle, they'll need another couple of quick ones here. They're still going on with it, Spear and Hodges.
Yes, it's a war of words at the moment, and nothing wrong with that. I'll probably have a beer afterwards together. Good take, not paid to Gaffney. Oh, Thorne gets it wide to Hannum. Off a half-back, is in long. Well read, Roger Delaney. Cool as you like, as we know him. Goes left, Taylor, May. Kick it, lad. Long to the wing is Smith. Good punch on him by Freeborn. Gaffney clever. Underneath it, Borlase, he plays tall. Good catch. And Hodges wants it in quickly. They'll try and get it up there. Off he goes, out in front, but decides on a different option. Barch, they've gone around the world to get home. Angove, one of their best, punches a goal. And here come the Magpies again, but it's going to be a long road home. Angove's first, 21-12, 11-8.
strange as it may seem, this game is a long way from over because, as I said, there's a 3 or 4 goal breeze that will be at the Magpies back in the last term. They still want another couple to get within an arm's length, because if the Eagles can kick 11 in a term, Port Adelaide probably can, but they'll need, obviously, to control the ball and go. That's a beautiful-looking, free-flowing play. It's been one of Port Adelaide's best today.
60-point margin, 21-12, 11-8. Not far from time on in the third quarter here at Football Park. Our Anzac Day game on ABC Sport. Up they go. This time, Barch out of the centre, pays to half-forward Olsen. Good on Filippo. Loose ball around the body. And high was Tobias on the ground now. It took me a while to pick him. Kluzak shepherds the pays, and the shepherd is illegal on Carter. What's happening? Free kick.
Kluzak, isn't it, or the pays?
To Pays, so Pays offering the shepherd. How did Pays end up with it when Kluzak did the shepherding? It's been another game.
It's a little hard to work out, that's for sure, but it's going to take Pays' very best kick from there. We saw Neiman get one from perhaps closer range just a moment ago. Pays has got more penetration, but, well, don't write him off from here. Watch himself launch at it. Take the left post, the breeze could do the rest for him.
32 touches last week, one of the big movers in Eagles football. Have a look at that! Holy dolly! He's second. No wrong the Eagles, no wrong today.
Eagles coach Bruce Winter, the sternest test so far this year, and you passed it with an A+, I think.
Yeah, I thought today's performance was a good one. I think all of our games are a pretty stern test because, you know, we came top last year, so every side we're finding is actually building up. And today I reckon Port probably did the same thing.
You'd have to admire the, I know it's hard to single anybody out, but that band of runners of yours are so influential through the midfield and providing some opportunities, aren't they?
Well, that's true. I mean, but that, you know, that's why we picked them, because that's, you know, we recognise that that's what they can do. And if they don't, then we replace them. So, yeah, but I agree with you. They've been playing very well this year.
Very hard to find best players for you today, but Paul Chapman in the middle really set things up in that first half particularly. He's an underrated player, isn't he?
Well, he might be by other sides. He's certainly not by us. In fact, I reckon he's the best centreman in our competition. You know, he does a lot of things that people don't see. He's very clean. He's very quick in close. His awareness of players around him is probably as good as any player in our competition.
And Bruce, the program over the next 2 or 3 weeks for yourself, what have you got in store?
We've got Norwood next week at Mount Pleasant, which won't be easy considering what happened to them on Saturday. And then we have a bye, and then we play West, and I assume that winning today means that we'll play off in the Foundation Cup.
Bruce, thanks for your time. Good luck through the next month.
Thanks very much.
And Stephen Trigg there talking to what should be a very happy Eagles coach in Bruce Winter. And why shouldn't he be? 3 games clear on the SNFL table. Let's have a look at how they set up the victory here at Football Park today. They opened up with 11 goals. Port never really got back into it. 57-point margin at quarter time, 53 at half time, 63 at three-quarter time. And the final scoreline, 26-16, 172. And Port Adelaide, 16-10, 106, 66-point margin in favour of the Eagles. Taylor kicked 7 for the Eagles and Hodges kicked 5 to lead the way there. But Port Adelaide, just not enough forwards. And as I said, I still believe the Eagles and Port Adelaide will contest the May 17 Foundation Cup Grand Final. Well, thanks for your company today. Now, next week, join us at 5:30 for the ABC Footy Show live. And on Sunday, all the local games will be played. We go to Mount Pleasant, Norwood versus the Eagles, and we go live from there at 2:30. We look forward to your company then. Good night.